All right, we'll keep an eye on those farmers' protests, but for now, let's get you some other news. The government has scrapped the free movement regime at the India-Myanmar border. Manipur Chief Minister Biren Singh has welcomed the decision. He has said this historic decision will play a huge role in curbing illegal immigration and strengthening India's internal security. Now, this free movement regime, or FMR, was implemented in 2018 as part of the government's Act East policy. Under this regime, all hill tribes could travel within 16 kilometers on either side of the Indo-Myanmar border. The free movement regime has been credited for creating a multitude of problems, or rather blamed for creating a multitude of problems, namely the influx of illegal immigrants, arms and drug smuggling along the border, and a suspected role in inflaming ethnic tensions in Manipur. All right, let's now go across to my colleague Brijesh Pandey, who has more on the story. Brijesh, was the Manipur violence the primary trigger for this decision that's been taken by the central government?
Well, looks like that only, Neha, because, ever since there's been, the fight, ethnic clash between the Kuki and Meiteis for more than 10 months now. The government was also wary of the intelligence report it has been using for two things. First, there was a change in ethnicity. There's change in the composition of the state, and also, what was happening inside Myanmar was also having a cascading effect inside the state of Manipur, and there were people who would walk in, participate in any crime, and would walk back. This was what was stated by the intelligence agencies. Other key important was that there was a demographic change, a surge in a particular ethnicity, which led to a kind of a demographic change which had the majority community worried in the state. And this is the reason why the government first announced that it is going to fence the entire Myanmar border, and after that this FMR which has been curtailed. I mean, usually it was a government of India's initiated this in 2018, and the purpose was to ensure that that there is a free movement without any going into a proper documentation of visa or any other valid papers. You can go in 16 kilometers either side. But given the kind of hostility that has increased in the last 10-11 months, I think the government felt like if they want to control the situation inside Manipur, one of the key demands which was there by the intelligence community, security agency and others were that we have to barricade the entire area, as well as ensure that this free movement on both sides should be restricted, so as to ensure that the government would be able to clamp down hard on people who are making illegal entry and fomenting trouble in the state of Manipur. Neha?
All right. Thanks very much, Brijesh, for getting us all those details. But stay on with us. We want to come back to you to discuss our next story as well. All right, before we actually move on to the next story, let's understand what the free movement regime that has been scrapped by the centre is all about. It was implemented in 2018 as part of the government's Act East policy. Hill tribes were allowed to travel within 6 kilometers of the Indo-Myanmar border. Under this regime, residents could cross over with a border pass with 1-year validity. Residents could also stay for up to 2 weeks during every visit. Assam Rifles has been responsible for guarding the border, remember, including implementation of FMR, which facilitated people-to-people contact, trade and business. But in view of the Manipur violence, the centre thought it fit to scrap this regime.